Hey guys. Hi y'all. Mama is back, okay? Now, happy Friday, okay? So what I'm doing here right now, y'all, okay, is a nail repair. Can y'all see me? I don't want the light to be too bright. So I'm doing a nail repair. So while I'm doing my nail repair, I'm going to chit-chat with y'all for a few minutes, okay? So it's Friday evening. I'm in here late with y'all, okay? Just know that, okay? So yeah, I'm repairing my nails. So this is, let me just show y'all real quick, and then we're going to get chitter-chatting. First of all, while I'm doing this, let me talk about this. Now, of course, we want to continue to pray for the people who were affected by Hurricane Harvey down in Texas, because they're still, I guess, cleaning up from all the damage and everything that happened there. But we also want to pray for the people down in Florida and anybody who will end up being affected by Hurricane Irma, okay? And then I heard something about Hurricane Jose. Like maybe right after Irma, there's a Hurricane Jose coming or something like that. But let's just deal with Irma right now. Girl. They said that the eye of the hurricane is 45 miles wide. Okay, the eye of the hurricane. And the eye wall. So the bigger the eye, the more damage that the eye wall can do, okay? They say this is the largest hurricane ever, I think, in the history of the world that we know of. And they said it's not a matter of it's not a matter of whether or not Florida is going to be hit. It's a matter of how hard they're going to be hit. So they said the state of Florida, period, no matter where you live at in Florida, you will be affected. How bad? I don't know. You know, some places may just suffer the wind damage. I don't know. But definitely it's going to be a lot of water. They're talking about the winds are going to be up to 155 miles per hour. So if you can just imagine 155 miles per hour, okay? They're running very, very low on gas. I just say, you know, my prayers go out to anybody who lives in Florida or the surrounding areas, because they were even saying that North Carolina and Oklahoma need to keep an eye on this as well, because they could even be hit as a result of this storm. So for those of you who have family and friends, and you know, I know a few YouTubers who live down in Florida. So my prayers definitely go out to you all and your families. Please stay safe. If they say evacuate, please evacuate, because it's not a game. It's not a game. Yeah. So that makes me very sad to hear that those people are going through that. Like you just never know. I know that Florida is used to having hurricane season, but this is like the worst. Like this is like the worst hurricane ever that they said is going to be happening. Speaking of gas, okay, now I was saying the other day when I think I was doing one of the follow me around, and I was in my car, and I was saying about, you know, let's talk about gas, because I know that gas had started creeping up. Even before Hurricane Harvey, I noticed gas starting to creep up because of the threat of the, I think I said South Korea war, but it's North Korea that we're having the issue with. And so I saw the prices creeping up as a result of that. But then once Hurricane Harvey came, then of course the prices really skyrocketed. And I was talking about the highest gas that I saw was $2.75. Okay. The gas that I purchased, I think I said it was $2.69, but the highest that I saw as I was passing gas stations was $2.75. And I asked you all, let's talk about it. So a lot of you all came in and talked about how, you know, what your prices was in your state. And I appreciate you all responding. But child, I was ever so amazed. This one person That's why I say when you think, you got it bad, just listen to somebody else. He said, okay, let's talk about gas prices, girl. Okay, you complaining about 265 or 269, whatever I said I had paid for gas. He said that in some parts of Los Angeles, the gas was as high as $4.29. And he says exactly where he is in California, it was $3.29. So it made me feel like, oh my God, like I'm complaining over 269 and here these people was paying 329 and 429. And I'm like, wow, okay. So I guess the lesson to be learned is before you start complaining, child, just listen to somebody else's story and it'll make you feel really bad for complaining. Okay, so when I do my nail repairs, when a nail come off, I always take the file and, I file off like the layer of glue or just that little top layer. It may have grease or oil or something on it, so your glue just sticks better if you do that, okay? And I had to cut the nail some so that it'll fit. Okay, and then I'm just going to use my glue. Okay, so there we go. Gas prices are going to continue to go up because of all these hurricanes and stuff. So just be safe out there wherever you live at, because you just never know when it's going to come your way, my way, anybody's way. You just never know. Okay. Okay, now this is something that I wanted to talk about. Okay, now my kids, I told y'all my kids started back to school this week. Okay, so the first day, which it was my daughter's first day of high school, which I told y'all that. Okay, so she came home. She didn't go to sleep. I guess she was on the phone with some of her friends, from off the when she plays games and stuff. And they were all talking about their first day of school, whatever have you. Okay, the second day of school, I don't know what the heck happened, but my daughter did tell me that high school is way different and it's more intense and more busier. So she's been really tired coming home from school. And when I tell you that my kids were asleep, this was Wednesday. Was this Wednesday night? Yes, Wednesday night. When I tell you, okay, I was in my room watching TV. I got up to go use the bathroom. It was almost 7 o'clock. I have a habit of checking, peeping in my children's rooms, when I go back towards the kitchen area or to the bathroom. I just have a habit of checking, just peeping in and just, that's just me. And, child, I looked in my daughter's room. My daughter was knocked out. It was like 5 of 7. Looked in my son's room. My son was stretched out on the bed, knocked out, okay? So now I'm like, oh, my God. I'm thinking, you sleep before 7 o'clock, you're going to probably wake up around midnight or 1 o'clock and have a hard time going back to sleep. So I was thinking, should I wake them up? And I said, nope, I'm not going to wake them up. I'm going to just ride it out because maybe, just maybe, they'll just stay the course. My son slept. Like I said, it was like 5 of 7. So I don't know what time he actually fell asleep. But before 7 o'clock, my son was asleep and he did not wake up until the next morning at 5:30 when it was time for him to get up for school. I was so excited that my son got, I guess that was about what, 10 hours of sleep? About 10 hours of sleep. Like, my kids don't do 10 hours of sleep, okay? I wish that I could put my teenagers to bed at 9 o'clock. I mean, I did. Because I'm so big on my kids getting their rest for school. But, 9 o'clock these days, these teenagers, like, really, like, I just feel like I'm just a punk parent these days. My first 3 kids, I was on point. It was just like, when I say you go to bed, it don't matter. Like, I just feel like I'm a punk now. I can't put my kids to bed at 9 o'clock. Why not? So, I don't know. But anyway, I was so happy that my son had got 10 hours of sleep. Okay, now my daughter, she woke up at like 1 something. So she had a little bit of a hard time going back to sleep. But okay, she did go back to sleep. But I was just happy that those kids were actually getting rest. Because, I set their bedtime for 10. I want their bedtime to be 9, but they looking at me like, Ma, you know, this, of course, this, anyway, their bedtime is 10 o'clock, period. But even at 10, it's like, okay, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 30. So they only getting like 7.5 hours of sleep. So, okay. But I would really love for my kids to get 10 hours of sleep per night. Hell, I would love to get 10 hours of sleep per night. Like, my sleep is, you know, sometimes it's okay. And sometimes it's not. But yeah, I was so happy. Like, I don't know, I was just excited, you know. Because I miss the days when my kids, you know, when I could make them take a nap at a certain time. Like, I'm real big on rest. And I was so excited that my son has slept all the way through. Like, he needed that damn rest. Okay? But anyway, y'all, and speaking of school and all that kind of stuff, okay. So I've been seeing school buses with tinted windows. Not all school buses. I don't know if, you know, like the newer buses that they're making, if they're making the windows tinted or what the deal is, what determines whether they have tints or not. But I actually, when I first saw it, I said, what the hell, these buses got tints on it? But then I was just like, you know what? That's probably a good thing. I'm going to tell you why. Because when I used to drive the MTA bus in Baltimore City, okay, a lot of school kids caught the MTA. In Baltimore City, their kids generally catch MTA. They don't have like the yellow school bus. I had yellow school bus the whole time I was growing up and going to school because I went to a county school. Actually, let me see, I did kindergarten in 1st grade in a Baltimore City Catholic school. And we walked to school because our school was just that close. We always had a sitter that would walk us to school because my mom was at work. We moved to the county when I was getting ready to go into the 2nd grade. It was the summer before I went to the 2nd grade. So I went to a Baltimore County school from the 2nd grade all the way until I graduated from high school. So I've never known anything but a yellow school bus, not the short one now. Oh, okay, because I wasn't on the short bus, okay? Although I could have got on the short bus and they would have never knew that I didn't belong because, girl, I was crazy. No, but yeah, so I've only known yellow school buses. So anyway, I'm noticing that okay, so like I was saying, I'm driving it out when I used to drive the MTA bus in Baltimore City in Maryland. A lot of school kids, and those school kids are off the chain, okay? If you want to know how bad the school kids are, either be a passenger on an MTA bus or be the driver of an MTA bus, and you'll find out, okay? I used to have so many problems with those kids either throwing shit out the window and hitting people's cars, throwing the middle finger up at people, like, you know, so the bus is at a light and you have cars on either side waiting at the light. They may have their window down. You got kids throwing shit in their car. You got kids saying shit to them. You got kids saying, kiss my grits. Okay, they ain't saying kiss my grits. You know what they saying, kiss my ass. Like, they doing the most. And I've literally had people get out of their cars and come around to the bus. I don't know if I did not know that they got out their car. I just know that, you know, somebody is standing there to get on the bus. I open the door and the person gets on and they runs to the back of the bus cussing and fussing at the children. I kick all y'all asses. I don't care who you are and I don't care how young you are, and get your mama and get your phone. I'm like, what? And then you got some kids that be snitching. Bus driver, it was so-and-so. They threw something at that man's car, or they spit on that man's car. They would bring eggs and throw it at people's car. I'm telling you, the kids is off the chain. And it will cause people to get out their cars and come and fuck them kids up on the bus. I'm telling you. So I'm like, you know, the tinted windows might be a good thing because you have a lot of kids that will be flipping people off. Like, seriously, flipping people off. And you don't know, you're driving. I mean, you have your mirrors, but you can't, you know. So I actually think that's a good idea to have the tinted windows, and hopefully in the summertime you got air conditioner. That way the windows can stay closed and you don't have kids throwing shit out the bus. And you don't have kids flipping these people off and making these people angry. Like, some people don't give a fuck that you are a child, okay? Some people don't care. You can't use that, oh, I'm a kid. They figure you going to act like an adult. I'm going to treat you like an adult, okay? And So anyway, so when I started, I don't know if that's the reason why I'm seeing the tents on the school bus windows, but I actually think it's a good idea. And they need to do that for all the MTA buses. Like, have the tents, and mandatory if it's, you know, you got AC on the bus, windows stay closed, and then that way the kids don't, you know, cause the whole bus to be shut up. I'm telling you, man, them kids is terrible in Baltimore on them buses, man. I'm trying to tell you. It's awful. So, y'all, okay. Speaking of Baltimore, Maryland, which is my hometown, it's where I'm from. It's not where I'm at, but it's where I'm from, okay? But I've been watching The Wire. And for those of you who remember The Wire was filmed from Baltimore. It was in reference to things that went on in Baltimore. That's why I like The Wire so much. And The Corner. The Corner was also filmed in Baltimore, about Baltimore. So here's the thing, okay? I've lived in Baltimore. I was born and raised in Baltimore, okay? I left Baltimore 3 years ago, okay? So I've pretty much spent my entire life so far in Baltimore, Maryland, okay? So I always knew it was a lot of drug dealing going on in Baltimore, because you can see it, you know, when you riding up and down the street, you got people on the corners all day, you know, they don't work. You know, you see them out there selling drugs. You see the drug dealers throwing up testers and all the addicts running all out the street and almost getting hit by cars because they did threw a whole bunch of testers out the street. Like, it's a mess. Like, you can literally see that it's going on. You listen to the news, it's always killings going on. You know, Baltimore is like on the top 10. The list, the most dangerous places to live, or the whatever, they're on the top 10 list, okay? And that's not a good thing. Along with Chicago. Chicago is off the chain. This past Labor Day weekend, they had like 7 killings. Those were the reported ones. 7 people in a weekend? Wow. Well, anyway, so I knew about the killings. I knew about the drug, you know, the big drug activity that went on in Baltimore. I knew about just the danger, period, because I lived there. But when you watch The Wire, okay, that gives you the behind the scenes look into what really be going on and how big this thing was in Baltimore. Like, The Wire, I've been watched The Wire like years ago when it came out. I didn't watch every single episode, but I've watched it. But now they have like all the seasons and episodes on demand. So I've been binge watching The Wire. I'm finished with season 1. I'm on season 2. I'm trying to catch up with my husband because he's already on season 2, probably the 10th episode, and I'm like on episode 4. So we've been enjoying watching that simply because that's where we're from. Well, he's not from Baltimore. I'm from Baltimore. We're both from Maryland, but I literally was born and raised in Baltimore. He had some years in Baltimore, but he wasn't born and raised in Baltimore. But to literally see the back end of what was going on with the drug dealers, the drug houses, stuff that I personally didn't see. I mean, I knew there was drug dealing going on, but I never was in no stash house and saw the ins and out of how it worked and how, you know, when the man say this person got to go, you know, you got the people that go out there. I knew they had people that go out and kill people for money and all of that. But to literally see it on camera, and see how the knockers work and how the police work and how crooked a lot of people behind the scenes were. The courthouse, the judges, the politicians being paid by some of these drug dealers. And I mean, like, it was just amazing watching it thus far. And like, damn, I literally lived here all my life. And I never